All right, today we're putting two really popular air fryer ovens under the microscope. It's the Inalsa AeroSmart 23 versus the Nutricook Steamy X. Let's see who comes out on top.
Walking into an appliance store or just scrolling online, it can be a lot. So many options, right? Well, that's exactly why we're here. We're going to cut through all that marketing noise and help you figure out which one of these machines is actually the right fit for your kitchen.
So here's the game plan. We'll introduce the two ovens, check out the raw numbers, then get into the really cool stuff, what they can actually do. After that, we'll see what real owners think, and finally, we'll wrap it all up to help you decide.
Okay, let's meet the contenders. In this corner, we've got the Inalsa AeroSmart 23. Think of this one as the all-rounder, the one that tries to do a little bit of everything. And in the other corner, the Nutricook Steamy X. This is the tech-savvy innovator, bringing something pretty unique to the table.
All right, let's get down to the nitty-gritty, the tail of the tape. We're kicking things off with the core specs, the numbers that tell us what these things are made of.
First up, capacity. And honestly, it's pretty much a dead heat. The Inalsa has 23 liters, the Nutricook has 24. I mean, that 1 liter difference, you're not even going to notice it. Both are plenty big enough for a family.
Now, what about power? Okay, here the Inalsa has a slight edge, 1700 watts versus 1600 for the Nutricook. Look, 100 watts isn't a huge deal, but on paper, it does mean the Inalsa has a little more oomph.
Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting. Let's put it all together. The capacity and power are super close, right? But then you look at the dimensions and whoa, the Nutricook is way, way smaller. I mean, it takes up so much less space. If your counter space is precious, this is a massive, massive win for the Nutricook.
So the basic numbers are one thing, but what can these ovens actually do? This is where they really show their different personalities. It's kind of like a battle between doing a ton of different things versus doing one thing exceptionally well.
And wow, this chart just says it all, doesn't it? The Inalsa is packing 16 presets. 16! That's double what the Nutricook offers. So if you're someone who just loves hitting a button and walking away, the Inalsa is already looking pretty good.
And it's not just the number, it's the variety. I mean, you've got your usual suspects like air fry, toast, pizza, but then it gets into stuff like dehydrating and even fermenting. Seriously, Inalsa is really trying to be the one appliance that does it all.
But Nutricook, they're playing a different game. They're putting all their chips on one big fancy feature, real steam technology. So this isn't just another button, it's a whole new cooking method that shoots steam in with the hot air. The whole idea is to get food that's super moist inside, but still gets that perfect crispy crust on the outside. It's their secret weapon.
Okay, so we've seen what the companies say about their products, but what's the real story? Let's find out what actual owners, the people using these things day in and day out, have to say.
All right, so the Inalsa is sitting at a pretty solid 4.1 stars from a ton of ratings, almost 1,500. And look at that, 60% of people gave it 5 stars. That's great, but you got to look at that other number. 14% gave it just 1 star. That's not a tiny number. It kind of tells you that for most people, it's great, but for a noticeable chunk, something went wrong.
So what are the happy customers saying? It really comes down to one word: value. People feel like they're getting a whole lot of machine for their money. They see it as a smart buy, something that's well built and just works.
But then you dig into those 1-star reviews, and yikes, this is a big one. This person is saying the door doesn't close right and steam is leaking out, right onto the controls. They even mention a risk of electric shock. I mean, that's more than just a little problem. That's a serious safety concern and a huge red flag about quality control.
Okay, over to the Nutricook. The overall rating is almost the same, 4.0 stars. But look closer. It has way fewer ratings, and the numbers are more extreme. A whopping 67% of people gave it 5 stars, but an even bigger group, 18%, gave it just 1 star. This really feels like a love it or hate it kind of product.
And you can probably guess what the 5-star folks are raving about, right? It's that steam function. This review says it all: a game changer. It totally confirms that for the people who want that feature, Nutricook absolutely delivered.
But on the other side, the complaints seem to be about promises that weren't kept. This person is upset because a function that was advertised just isn't there. And yeah, when you're paying top dollar for something, you expect to get exactly what was advertised. That's a surefire way to make a customer angry.
All right, we've looked at the specs, the cool features, what people love, and what they hate.
let's put it all on the table and get to the final decision. And we've got to start with the one thing that can make or break a purchase for most of us, the price.
So, the Inalsa AeroSmart 23. Its price is 10,994 rupees. Just lock that number in your head for a second.
Because the Nutricook Steamy X costs 19,999 rupees. That's nearly double the price. And that right there is probably the biggest difference between these two.
So what do you do? How do you choose? It really comes down to what's most important to you. Are you the kind of person who wants the most bang for your buck with tons of options? Or are you willing to pay a premium for a new, specialized technology?
And this table just lays it all out perfectly. With the Inalsa, you get a ton of presets and amazing value, but you're taking a bit of a gamble on the build quality. With the Nutricook, you get that incredible steam technology that people love, but you're paying a lot more for it, and you might be annoyed by some of the marketing.
So, in the end, it leaves you with a really interesting question to ask yourself. What is the future of your kitchen? Is it about having more options to perfect the food you already love to make? Or is it about exploring completely new ways to cook? Your answer to that question is going to tell you exactly which one of these belongs on your counter.